There's a wonderful story of Lord Buddha that really teaches us the true essence of forgiveness. So Lord Buddha was sitting, meditating, and also giving discourse, giving a class to his disciples. And he had two particular disciples that were sons of a merchant, a businessman. And this businessman had a successful business, would run his business every single day. He was kind of annoyed with Lord Buddha, right? He was getting agitated with Buddha, mainly because he couldn't believe that his sons would spend all this time in meditation and all this time with Lord Buddha. And he felt like he was doing his sons a disservice. So he got angry, very angry one day and said, I'm going to teach this Buddha a lesson. I'm going to show this Buddha that he needs to be taught a lesson and not to distract my sons from the practical things of life, building business and taking care of the family and all of these type, making money and these type of activities. So in a rage and so upset, this man went to go see Lord Buddha, and Buddha was sitting there with his disciples in meditation and giving class. And this man walks up to Lord Buddha. Now, because of Lord Buddha's energy, the man lost his words. He couldn't think of what he wanted to say to him, but he was so upset, he was so enraged that eventually he just spat on the Buddha's face. Lord Buddha sat there, smiled, and didn't move. Eventually the man just walked away. And as he walked away, he became remorseful of his actions. He says, "Oh my goodness, how could I have done that? I literally just spit on this holy man's face. In front of all of his students, I disrespected him." And that night, as the man was going to sleep, he was actually haunted by Lord Buddha's peaceful face. He couldn't get Lord Buddha's smile and face out of his head. And he became very, very remorseful. The next day, he thought to himself, I need to set this right. I need to, go apologize. And so he went back to Lord Buddha, and Buddha was sitting there once again in meditation and giving class to his disciples. And he walked up to Lord Buddha, and everybody was a little antsy because, oh no, this guy is back. And Lord Buddha didn't budge. He just sat there and smiled at him. And the man dropped down and said to Lord Buddha, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. My behavior was totally unacceptable. And Lord Buddha said, I cannot forgive you. And his students were shocked because at that point, Lord Buddha, who is an incarnation of God, taught compassion. And they couldn't believe it because at that point, Lord Buddha had always forgiven. And he said, I could not forgive you. And when Lord Buddha looked around and saw the bewilderment on his students' faces, he went to explain. He said, I cannot forgive you because you have done nothing wrong. And the man was confused and said, no, it's me. I came here yesterday in anger and I spit on your face. And Lord Buddha said, let me explain. He said, who you were yesterday is not who you are today. I can see that you have changed, that you're remorseful. And so therefore, there's nothing to forgive. The man who stands in front of me is not the man who stood in front of me yesterday. So I have nothing to forgive of you. The lesson here is that true forgiveness doesn't mean that you hold it in people's face. Remember that time that you said that thing and then I forgave you? True forgiveness happens and the person who's being forgiven doesn't even know they've been forgiven. This is the true forgiveness. It's very difficult for most of us because we want to prove a point. We don't want to just forgive and let it go. We want to prove a point. We want to show them either how merciful we are or how much they have hurt us and we want to shove it back in their face in the form of what we call forgiveness. But true forgiveness is demonstrated in this story by Lord Buddha. When someone does something and we forgive them, we don't even have to tell them that they've been forgiven. And then when we interact with them again, we interact with them as a whole new person, a whole new energy. See, Lord Buddha was so insightful that he could see that that man was already suffering. He was suffering by his own actions, he was remorseful. So what was there to forgive? This story is extremely powerful. And if we can even just get one-tenth of compassion that Lord Buddha held for this man, then this world and our lives would be a better place.